2025 World Championships. Can Canada and DeGrasse make it to the final eight? What's your take?
All right, so welcome again, Sports Globe fans. Thank you very much for stopping with us with another video. We appreciate you all the time, and we appreciate all of our subscribers, and subscribing to the channels. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for sharing with us, and just thank you for giving us our vibes all the time. Rudy, what are going
Yeah, man, me there, things start now. You know how it is.
Track and
World
field start
Championship
though.
start. Yeah, man. The
I,
world is on standstill with everything now. It's track
I
and
hear a
field.
season.
The
I hear a
tennis, the
season
tennis.
on.
Yeah, man. The tennis
But
getting its moment. The football
mm,
getting its moment as well as
yeah,
everything else. Now the track and field should get a little moment.
yeah.
So just share the thing. Everybody getting a piece of something. So
What you think about
I'm
what you
excited.
think about the Jamaica Trinidad game?
Yeah, it's a good game, Little hiccup there with Trinidad and
Yeah,
the foolishness they're making, but at the same time,
yeah.
Trinidad, it's almost you feel like you say Trinidad sell it.
Like Trinidad.
Not necessarily in the terms of
mm,
Jamaica didn't deserve it. It's just that is the way they play, little mistakes,
yeah.
and in those games, and you make a mistake, you can get it back. You can revive from them
Nah.
things. Once
And
you
they,
mess up,
they
you
get
mess up.
they get they get three opportunities, but offside.
That's what I'm
So
saying. Yeah,
it's not like
yeah.
it's not like them not scoring at the game.
They're
Them
not
scoring at the
scoring in the
game, but
game. It wasn't legit.
offside. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm happy that Jamaica get the 3 points and them well
yeah,
on the way. Trinidad
yeah.
have to work hard for the next couple of
Because
games because
I know we're talking track and field, but so far we only have
yeah,
18 teams selected out of the 48. So they still have another 30 teams
yeah, man.
that still need to fill the gap. So suddenly
Well,
Canada is in, the US is in, and Mexico, that's
well,
guaranteed. You
yeah,
know,
man. So we need a Caribbean. We need something from the
we
Caribbean
need, yeah,
territory
Brazil is
inside
there,
there.
and suddenly we need
Yeah,
another Caribbean in there. Remember when they was in there, Trinidad was in there, when Jamaica
yeah,
was in
man.
there.
Jamaica
We
was
have to
there.
support the people. We have to support the
Yeah.
people. So
All
yeah,
right. Yeah, man. So that was a big part of the news. Jamaica beat Trinidad 2 goals to 0, and Trinidad need to get along. They haven't won any match. They haven't scored any goals.
in a long
So
time. Yeah,
they need to score some goals and win some
we need to
match. We
step it
need
up. We need to step
the
it up.
two teams
Yeah,
going to qualify from this zone. So we're hoping
yeah.
that Trinidad will get there still. But
We get in. Yeah,
celebrate to Jamaica. Yeah, man. Another big news of the day, Rudy, is U.S. sprinter Aaron Knighton. Promising 200-meter guy for the gold
promising
medal.
future. Promising future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Very promising. Very promising. He was found or he was banned for 4 years, and it came out today in regards to being tested positive for anabolic steroid. I think when you think about anabolic, you must remember Ben Johnson
yeah.
back in the time, right?
Back in the time,
Because I think that was the drug. And
that's
we
what the
were
drug
pretty much,
used. Yeah,
yeah, we were pretty much just getting to know even this drug testing thing and the whole thing. So anabolics was the big drug at the time that, but from what I'm reading, he is not contesting the thing at all, but he's saying that it might have come into his system from some kind of meat that he was eating at some point in time or something. So that's the whole reason. So he's saying that he's not a cheater or not like that, but maybe I've just eaten something and it contamin that was containing whatever he was eating and wasn't aware of it and thing. It's very tricky though, the sporting industry nowadays,
it
Rudy,
does.
because
It is. When you do a deep study about the different drug tests and different things that they do, is you almost don't want to eat nothing or even take anything.
yeah.
And that's the difference with It's funny how we talk about we as Caribbean.
hmm
They always talk about why we so good is the weather. Not to do with the weather. Yeah, it's good weather
Yeah.
in many places. I think it's the discipline. How we grow up is discipline. Also, the type of food we eat. Because the type of food
Yeah.
we eat is natural food. It's grown
Yeah,
in
man.
our backyard. It's grown from some people. It just everything's natural. You get your fish right from the ocean into your pot. So
Genuinely
it's not,
organic.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
So certainly that makes a big difference. So if it is
Mm.
something to do with the meat that he eat, or something that he eat
Yeah,
that caused that situation. Certainly, it's unfortunate. It kind of wake up the athletics
yeah,
world in terms
yeah,
of what you're
yeah,
eating out there.
yeah.
But if that's not the case, it also wake up the young people. Now you put
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a position.
So be careful.
Here's a young man who was very promising, did not go to college, went straight on the professional scene,
Yeah,
um, and he's still young. He's only 21 years old.
only 21
Where
years old.
where you kind of say, well, no, he didn't have a degree in a sense. Might give him an opportunity now to maybe to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
and put some things together. Um, that's one, and two, you can't really you could train, but there's no competition. So it's almost like you're keeping your body together
Yeah,
for the next
and
4 years.
for 4 years is a long time,
4 years is a very long
And of
time.
course,
Yeah,
he was such a promising, especially for the
yeah.
200 meters
For the
because
200 meters. Yeah,
he has one of the best time in the 200 meters. As I look here, I said 1949.
yeah.
That's very good
That's very
time,
fast.
and
That's very. Oh
he
yeah,
would
that's
have,
phenomenal time.
yeah, he ran that 2022, so that was
Yeah.
he was about
So
18, 19 years old when he ran that
yeah, yeah,
2049. I mean, so
yeah.
that's good time. I mean, very promising, and of course, he is also a silver medalist in Budapest
Yeah. Yeah.
2023. So the last he was there, only was beaten um, by our friend Lyles, and of
Yeah.
course Eugene. He would have gotten a bronze medal as well. So he was very very promising. So that's a big part of the news today, and yeah, very. I'm kind of disappointed when young athletes get themselves into these kind of things. But hey, listen, you never know. It seems as
No,
if
certainly, certainly.
every single major meet always have some kind of person who get
Something,
found
some
with
kind of
something. I
somebody,
remember
something. Yeah.
Shakiri, she
Hmm.
got caught with the whole thing
Yeah.
with the what marijuana thing and all of them kind
That
of
was
things.
a
And so
US ban. I don't think it even was a world thing. It was a US ban. It
I
was
know
just
it
the
was a
United
US.
States that did it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, so it shows that it's a
Yeah.
serious thing across the globe. And if
Mm,
like, I look at a lot of these young people, and one of the reasons why I see a lot of these athletes taking steroids is because when you make winning everything and you
mm-hmm.
can't win no more, you try to find a way to do it. Sometimes in the sport, losing is not a bad thing. We talk about one of our greatest, one, not the,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of sports, greatest athlete is Michael Jordan. How many times he
Yeah.
lose and he take it? He
And
just
come
take it.
back.
He just take it and he come back.
Yeah.
So it certainly shows that when you make winning everything. We see the Marion Jones era when she couldn't win no more.
Yeah.
They have to go that area.
I was really
I
kind
don't
of
know.
shocked with Marianne Jones though, because
I
I
was very
wasn't
shocked.
expecting that
I
from
was,
her. I was
I
totally
was
shocked.
very shocked.
Totally shocked and
I
disappointed
was
too,
very shocked. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
And to the point where you lose everything and you end up going to jail because you lie.
Yeah, man.
Just say, yesterday or whatever it is, because and then you lie to the federal. That's not joke.
Mm,
FBI and
yeah.
that's not joke. Once you do that, you're in for a lot of it. So
Yeah,
certainly,
man.
um, you have to be careful. So if any young athlete out there is thinking about doing this stuff, it
Hmm.
is a serious thing. It might be extended to start getting tested in high school. It might be, so there's a lot of these things now that
Need
is
to
coming
stay
up
away
where
from it, man. Stay
stay
away
away
from
from it.
stuff that is going to,
Work hard. Let's work
well,
hard. Let's work hard.
tell you
Let's do
this,
what you have to do.
Rudy. So they have published a long list of stuff that right? So if you're thinking that you're in doubt of eating something and it is going to have some kind of,
Harm to you.
banned
Yeah.
stuff in there, you can talk to you can go and research it and look it up, it's a, because as his case is something that he meet and it was in the meter or something, you can go check your people. But anyway, sorry to hear that about him, and I
Yeah.
hope that him can stay in the game because he's a very promising young man. He can
Promising
stay in the
young. Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
start to
Yeah.
live out the 4 years. Um, oh,
A lot of athletes
lots
did
of
it
people
and they
go
come
through
back.
that.
And they
A
come back.
lot of people go through
Come back.
that and
Yeah.
come back.
Gatlin did. Justin Gatlin did, and he came
Yeah,
back and
and he
and he
came back
actually
and
and he actually
yeah,
did both.
and
So, and he did both. So
that's what I was going to say. If take the banner and come back and stay in the
And come
game,
back.
so
Just in the game.
I
Christian
would say
Coleman, I
Aaron
think, went
Knighton,
through a process.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, stay in the game.
stay in the
Well,
game. Yeah.
Bolt is the only athlete that I never that for his entire career, as
Yeah.
a top tier athlete that never had a question mark over anything.
Well, and on that
I
too,
don't think there
even
was
on
at
that
any
note,
point.
even on that note, I think he probably will tell you he probably is the most tested athlete ever.
Yes,
He probably
yes,
most, maybe to this day they probably still testing him. We'll never know because some of this
yeah,
stuff you have a timeline, right? Either 10 years
yeah,
or something like that. So
yeah,
even
man,
up to this day, they probably still
yeah,
testing him and
yeah,
checking all
man.
this, checking him out and
Same
checking his
way.
samples and see what
Yeah,
new drug come up and that could be,
hmm
something that he's doing, right? So yeah,
yeah. I mean, another big piece of news though at the World Championships this year is that they have made Usain Bolt and they have given him legend status as well. So that was really good to know that the
yeah,
organization is something that I thought they should have done long time and
long
make him
time
be a
ago,
part
long
of
time
them
ago.
things,
Yeah,
because he would have
but
transcended the sport to
yeah,
another
to
level,
another level.
financially and
But,
otherwise, he would have
let,
transcended the sport.
let me say this now. It's not only um, it takes a long time. You have to also see who is hosting and who have that respect and who could
Yeah,
identify athletes like that. Japan identified that. The love and the respect they have for both in
yeah,
those parts of the world makes a
lots.
big difference, right? So
Yeah,
certainly
man.
Japan have a respect for him. Japan understand what they're doing. Other countries could have done it, but they if for selfish reason, if it's for
Mm,
they miss an opportunity to get it done. But Japan
yeah,
did,
man.
and certainly we've seen the outcome of it, and here we are. So
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm proud for him, and
yeah,
I'm happy for him that for that.
definitely.
Yeah,
All right, so Rudy, our main discussion today, we want to look at our own. Well, we live in Canada, so we have to discuss Canada as a part of So even though, you from um your country again, Rudy,
Spice Island, Grenada.
Spice Island, Grenada, and I'm from Jamaica. Yeah, we look at our own, but we still have to look at where we are. And of
Where we
course,
at?
Canada has
Yeah,
always been a part of the whole track and field movements every year. So we wanted to have a look at the 100, the sprinters, and the team that is coming out of Canada. And just going to start with a list of the pretty much the top three or the top four that is going and to make up their relay pool as well. And for the men, of course, we see Aaron Brown, we see um, DeGrasse, of course,
yeah.
Jerome Blake. Must point out that he's a yard man too, Jamaican man in the place. Brandon Rodney. And I
And
think that
and
make up their
And
top four, eh?
let me add on to that with Aaron. Aaron is a product under me
And you
from high school.
okay.
From high school, yeah, he was
That,
certainly part of our. And that's the same school that I coached at.
yeah.
So he's definitely a product from our
So
program.
so you
Um,
feel good to see him being
yeah,
there.
still
Yeah.
continuing. It's been many
Still
years and it's
continuing.
still continuing. Getting to
Yeah.
college to USC. And he put a mark on the NCAA and then continue on with his career.
hmm
And he's still
hmm
doing it to this day. Certainly we are proud to see that because at one point he was thinking of playing football. He was playing
Ah,
football. Yeah,
was
he
playing
was playing
football.
football. And then we had to, sit down and talk to him and transition over into track
Keep
and
him
field. So
focused. All right,
certainly I'm
Rudy.
proud
So
to see that,
So
Yeah.
we want to look at their times going in, right? Look their times going into the 100 meters this year. I mean, Aaron is about 33 right now,
23, yeah.
so he's pretty much looking to kick down the retirement door. So
Yeah.
this might be his last World
This
Championship.
could be the last.
Might
This
be.
could be the
Who
last
knows,
for
right?
them.
Could be the
This could be the
last.
last.
And so
Yeah.
maybe
This
he
could
go
be the
on to
last.
the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because maybe he go on to the Olympics. So this might be his last World
But,
Championship. But
but at the
he
same
has.
time, here's the thing with Canada too, right? If I can add this
Mhm.
in there. You look at the US, you look at Jamaica, you've seen athletes coming up. I haven't seen much coming up for Canada because we've seen the same set of athletes in the
Over and
past
over.
8 years or 10 years.
Yeah. Same
The same
people.
athletes.
Well,
So you add that.
Jerome Blake has been there for how long?
He's been there for a
He has
minute.
a
He's
new
been there for a
addition.
while. Yeah,
Been there for a while too.
yeah. So it's if there is no one, you will see those guys in them maybe for another 3 years.
Yeah, because
You might see them. Yeah,
he's also 30 years of age.
he's also 30 years of age.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So let us quickly look at their times though and see how they're going to match up. Whether or not you think they can make the finals, you can tell me.
yeah,
Whether or
yeah.
not you think they can make the final eight or any one of them can make the final eight. So Aaron Brown, his best time for the 100 this year is 10:09, right? DeGrasse best time for the 100 this year is 10:15. Jerome is not running the 100, eh?
No,
I think it's Rodney going. Those are the
Rodney.
three.
Yeah,
Rodney
Rodney.
going, and Rodney don't have a good time. But I don't even know if Rodney made the cut though.
No, I think Jerome. I
Because I
think
don't think
Jerome.
he has a.
I think
I think
Jerome
it's
is the one that's running the 100.
no,
I think it's Jerome.
no. Remember, no, we know that Jerome did false start and he run and never run into the 100-meter trials, the finals. I don't know if he made the cut, right? So I know he's running the 200 meters.
Oh, okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
Remember, he had a problem in the 100 and he run under protest in the semifinals, but he wasn't in the finals, right? So I don't know. But Aaron Brown, DeGrasse, what do you think of their chances
Look,
making the top eight?
like I said, the grass haven't really run anything for the year. That promising. But most people step up when the time comes.
Yeah,
We have it's hard. We have our prediction. We know what we feel, but it's on the day that matters. So it's basically we come
yeah,
back to the same thing we be saying. Let's see how the rounds go. They've been in it already. Aaron had a chance, and even he might go through the first round. Maybe after that he might get left.
might
Um,
get to the semifinals.
yeah, he may get to the semifinals. 'Cause there's a lot of young men that's running well. There's a lot of people that's running well out there, but he
Yeah,
may get to the semifinals, and it all depends on who is in the race in the semifinals. So if
yeah.
you have two top gun and then yourself is top two next, whatever fastest, right? So you
hmm
could get bumped out just because,
I don't remember if
yeah.
the start
So
list came out for the
the
100
start list
meter
is
because
not
when
is not out yet. I
it's
was trying
not
to look
out
for it.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
it's
trying to
not
look
out
this
yet.
morning.
Yeah,
It wasn't out yet.
I
I
was
see
trying
for
to
the
look.
women.
Yeah,
I
the
said the
women
start
is
list
because
for the women is out, but the
what
men
happened?
not out yet.
The men have a prelims, so that's why they don't have a start list yet for the
Start
first
list
round.
yet.
For the
Yeah,
heats, they have no heats,
yeah.
right? The heats is
So
not
there's
out
no
yet.
start list for
And
them yet. But this is my take on
yeah,
Aaron Brown and DeGrasse though. DeGrasse very experienced. I understand. But for him to make this 100-meter finals this year, he has to be running 9 seconds.
yeah,
I think all eight people that is going to get to the 100-meter finals this year has to be running 9 seconds. You must be running nine something. That's the only way you can get to the finals because it's going to be tough, right? So DeGrasse, his best 10:15. His personal best is 9:89. If he can run himself into that, if he can run into the heats and run himself into some kind of condition, then who knows? But he has experience and anything is possible.
yeah.
Aaron Brown is going to be a little tougher, even though he has a faster time this year. Still going to be a little tougher getting there because he has not run at that high level in terms of the 100 meters, too much times. So he doesn't have that experience up against. And as I said, he doesn't have a personal best of 9 seconds anytime at all in his career. So it's going to be tough for
It's gonna
him
be
to
tough.
get
Yeah.
there. So, for the Canadians, I see them getting to the semifinals and I don't see them getting past the semifinals
Well, like I
right
said,
now.
we talk about the grass, and we're making the prediction that you have to run um, 9 plus. Not
Yeah.
necessarily, it's just based on how other people running, just based on the race. The
Mhm.
finals will be fast. We tend to see the semifinals sometimes faster than the finals because that's when people really,
And
pushing,
that's what
right?
I'm saying. And that's what I'm
And so
saying. So I know these
that's why I'm
semifinals
saying,
going to be
yeah,
tough.
because Noah and Kishan could be in the
Mhm.
same race, in the heats, in the semis.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
is, there is no. It is all
yeah.
about how you perform.
I know
Because
that.
we've seen it
I know
before.
that.
Remember, in the past years, right?
Yeah.
The grass was not promising. We never. I always just say no. He's not going to make it through. He's not going to make it through, and then there he goes in the
Mhm.
finals. So he always find a way. He
That's what I'm
always find
saying.
a way.
His experience
Yeah,
can get him there.
he
But
always.
if it
Yeah,
is
he always
time,
find a way.
if it's going to be by time,
If
he's
the
not
other
going to
time
be
he's
able to
not
get
there.
there. No.
However, he's been injured, so he haven't really compete.
Yeah.
So now you're going in. I mean, I seen him in Japan in training. I saw some clips on him. It looks
Hmm.
good, but he hasn't trained. He haven't competed.
Yeah.
I mean, so
It's
if
going
you're
to be
not
tough.
competing, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
It's going to be tough. I
Yeah,
mean, so let's look at their 4x1. They won last time with a time of 38:05. It's going to be tougher this time around for them to get. Of course, all of the different things that come, in a 4x100 meters, button fall, never pass the button, run out of the
yeah, yeah,
box,
yeah,
all
yeah.
kind of things that can happen, and they still can end up being there, right? I think they're going to make it there, right? They're going to make it for the top eight for the 4x1, but in terms of the gold medal, it's going to be tough. If Jamaica and America and England is running the way they're running, and the French always turn up, the Japanese always turn up, um,
So you're going to
and
see some new
yeah,
teams
they
that you
always
haven't
turn up,
seen before.
especially for a 4x1.
And this here's the thing with Canada in the 4x1. They always lucky. The last gold medal they get was sort of almost like legit. Every other
Yeah,
medal they get, either they get bumped up, they
it
were
was
fourth, and they
lucky.
bump up to third. They were third, they bump up to second. There was,
Yeah,
it's always a bump up because something happened to somebody. If there
yeah,
is some time, it was the British, where the British guy,
yeah,
was one of the guys was test
yeah,
positive. So there goes the team, they get the bump up. So it's
and they get
always
bumped up.
something. So
Yeah,
it's
so they
always
get
something.
lucky.
So they always getting lucky with
Yeah,
that.
so that's what I'm saying.
Um, so that's what it is.
You know?
However, they like again, the relay is not but for the four fastest. It's the baton.
Yeah,
They are constant. They are consistent. Better word to use. They are consistent training
hmm,
together and practicing. That's for a
yeah,
fact.
yeah,
We're gonna say Japan is because the discipline they have when it comes to relay.
hmm,
Don't know what it's like in Jamaica because everybody's from a different camp. We always talk about there always an issue with them. Same thing in the US. They
always.
always from a different camp. There's always an issue when it comes to that. They might do last minute training and they might bump and that. So Japan is training all year long because they are there. They're nowhere else.
Always. Yeah.
They are there, right? Um, so you kind of seeing that you have teams like Botswana, teams like South
Hmm.
Africa, teams that we haven't
Yeah.
heard about will be popping up in this
Yeah.
four by
South
one.
Africa is having a good team.
And that's what I'm saying, right? So
Yeah.
Germany, British, those countries been coming out. They was at the World Relays, so you kind of see a glimpse of them. They may not have their full team, but they were
Hmm.
there. So that aspect of it can be good. I believe the team to beat is Jamaica. I think they have a solid team. I think they can get back on
Hmm.
top of the podium or at least get on the podium because it's been a while since they've been on the podium in the 4x1.
Yeah.
So I believe that they can get on the podium but as long
Yeah.
as they put this thing together. As long as because listen, we keep saying this Japan, nobody in the 100 meters, nobody in the two, nobody in the four, but they in the 4x1.
Yeah, man.
Botswana, but they're in the 4x1. They are
Yeah.
there. And when you have team like
South
Jamaica, the
Africa.
US, who have three guys or
Yeah.
four, two guys in the finals, even getting on the podium, and then they can finish a relay, that says that the discipline and the attitude towards the 4x1 is not there.
It's not
Um,
there.
because everybody's from a different camp, everybody's from the thing. So surely we would
Yeah.
like to see the Canada can be in the finals. They have done it before, but when it comes to the finals, anything can happen. And
It's going to be tough.
they are a very
Lucky.
experienced team. They have done it before, and it's so that's really how I look at it. The experience they
Yeah.
have, they're training together. They've been at several training camp and they've been there together. So that's the whole difference with Team Canada compared to a lot of the other teams.